Hey folks, today's lab is going to be called Stalin's Russia, and it's going to deep dive into Joseph Stalin's rule of the Soviet Union. Now, we introduced this in large group last week, but it picks up really with Joseph Stalin taking command of the newly created Soviet Union in the mid-1920s. Now, as you guys know, the Soviet Union is founded under Vladimir Lenin. Lenin dies very early after its creation in 1924, and he doesn't have a clear transition plan for a successor. Stalin is going to be extremely creative in terms of turning people against each other and playing on leaders' insecurities to seize power for himself in the mid-1920s. But once he's in power, by the mid to late 1920s, he really sets about with an aggressive plan to reform the Soviet Union. He wants to boost their agricultural production. He wants to boost particularly their industrial production. One of the biggest goals Stalin has is to make the Soviet Union one of the most powerful industrial nations in the world. And he's going to do this through some extreme means. One of the things that's going to define Stalin's rule overall is the extreme measures he takes to discipline, control, and push the population of the Soviet Union in the direction he wishes for it to go. And he's going to be extraordinarily ruthless in this. That's going to be one of the most defining traits of Stalinism and his rule of the Soviet Union. Now, Stalin is going to rule all the way up until the early 1950s when he dies, and you guys probably have some exposure to him in terms of his role in the Second World War and his role as the leader of the Soviet Union at the onset of the Cold War. But this lab is going to focus on really how he sets about trying to develop the Soviet Union internally in the late 1920s and 1930s. This is the early point of his rule, and there's going to be, as I said, an extreme level of ruthlessness and brutality. This lab is going to focus particularly on his reforms to Soviet agriculture and the economy, and his attempt to control the political system. And you're going to see the style of rule that Stalin is going to carry out. Now, one final thing to remember about this lab. It's going to have a follow-up task tied to it. It's going to be a recorded Flipgrid that asks you to respond to a series of questions. This Flipgrid is going to be graded as an assessment, so it's an opportunity to kind of boost your overall performance in the test grade category in this class. So yes, proceed through this lab as normal, answer the bolded questions that follow, but ultimately you're going to have to apply that to a recorded Flipgrid that we're going to be emailing out to you. If you have any questions, please contact your small group instructors, and with that, good luck.